Hello friends, I hope everyone is having a great week and was able to integrate last week's lesson of refining our character into their weeks. I look forward to continuing our learning together. This week is episode 3, Parshat Lecha, and this week we expand our introduction of the father of Judaism, Avraham Avinu. He was originally introduced in end of last week's Parsha, beginning in Pasuk Chaf Gimel, but we don't know much about his character. He's seemingly chosen at random to go to a special place designated by Hashem and to leave certain influences behind. We're not going to discuss or custom this week. The Ramban has a lot to say, and hopefully we'll get to it in a future lesson. Ramban does very carefully read into our introductory pasuk to see that Avram is indeed a very special person. In last week's Parsha, if we were good at our Shnai Mikra, we saw the Chazal about being thrown to the fire, but that's nothing including the text. There is in Parshat Beis Pasuk Hey, the Nefesh that Avram and Sarah made in Haran, and that could be referring to converts that they had accrued in their teaching of Torah, but that doesn't make it to the introduction. That's just something that Avram and Sarah had accomplished, but it doesn't go to the fundamentals of his character. As we saw last week, introductions are very important, and the Torah tends to pack a lot into those seemingly simple psukim. So if we go to the first pasuk Aleph, Vayomer Hashem el Avram, Lech Lecha mi'artzecha u'mimolatecha u'mbeis avicha el ha'aretz asher areka. Go from your Hashem tells Avram, go from your land, your birthplace, your father's house, to the place I'll show you. The demand to leave things behind is tough, but that might not be the most challenging part of the pasuk. After all, Avram did bring a lot with him, as we see in Pasuk Hey, all his belongings, the converts that we mentioned. So some of the loss of his travels were mitigated, but his accomplishments in Haran only offer a glimpse of his capabilities. What's really telling of Avram's character is the end of the pasuk. Pasuk says, El ha'aretz asher areka, the place that God will show. Avram was told to uproot himself and go, and he went without knowing where he was going. It's only after he arrives when Hashem tells him in Pasuk Zayin that this is the place where I will make your offspring great. So why did Abraham begin his search? If he didn't know where to go, why did he go for Hashem's land by heading to Eretz Canaan? What was so compelling about it? Ramban offers two possibilities. It could be that Avram was just following his father's original plan, as mentioned in the previous Parsha. If this is the reason, it's not saying much about Avram, because it seems that everyone, even an idol worshipper like Avram's father, knew that Canaan was the place to be. Ramban's second answer, however, gives a deeper insight to Avraham. He says that Avraham just knew that this was Nachlas Hashem, and if Hashem wants him somewhere, it must be Hashem wants him to go to Eretz Canaan. This shows that Avram was more perceptive than the average person of his day. He was able to discern that Canaan was great, when others may have just thought it was just another land. He was able to pick up the hint where others may have missed it. This fits with other stories of Abraham, such as his ability to figure out that there even was a God, that Hashem exists, while everyone around him was worshipping idols. He was able to understand that there are deeper things that couldn't necessarily be seen, but existed and were quite significant. So let's review. We are combing through the introduction of Avraham Avinu to learn about his character. One thing to note was that he went on a journey uprooting everything he had accumulated to that point without being told where to go. And he chose Canaan. One explanation of the Ramban was that it was something that was known. It was a great place for something, and that's why his father was headed there, and Avram just continued that journey. The second explanation shows how perceptive Avraham was to understand that this was a special place of divine providence. Someone with that power of discernment was able to introduce monotheism into the world and become the father of the Jewish people. As his descendants, it is my hope that we inherit some of that insight and are able to recognize our own journeys that Hashem sets for us, even when He doesn't explicitly tell us. Hopefully, we have a great Shabbos and a great new week. I look forward to continuing to learn with everyone.